last time you saw a Peugeot 5008 it won't have looked like this. The French manufacturer's former 7-seat MPV is now an SUV. Only the name, and a 95 kilograms weight loss, carries over from the old car. Why the change? Well, for a start, Peugeot is keen to tap into a popular market. 26 million SUVs were sold worldwide in 2016, the year before this 5008's launch. While larger 7-seat off-roaders are plentiful, Peugeot says cars of the 5008 size and price are few and far between. Only the Nissan X-Trail, Skoda Kodiaq and Land Rover Discovery Sport can really claim to compete. If you want space for 7 and adventurous off-road styling without the associated exterior size, step this way. On-road off-roader, despite the shift in attitude and boosted ride height, the 5008 remains a car that will mostly live its life on-road. There are no 4- or all-wheel drive options. Peugeot says this would have eaten into the space needed for seats 6 and 7. It's ostensibly a 7-seat version of the 3008, a car that we like very much, thanks in no small part to its strong collection of engines, Blue-Eddy 4-cylinder diesel motors, plus 1.6-litre and Peugeot 3-cylinder petrols. All offer promisingly low fuel consumption to help keep bills down, as detailed in the green credentials and running costs sections of this review. More space inside, the 5008 retains the 3008 roof height but is actually 19 centimeters longer, with 16.5 centimeters of it inside the wheelbase for a roomier passenger compartment. As such, there's more elbow room up front, knee room in the second row and headroom in third row than the old car, plus a cavernous 1.060-litre boot. Best of all, the rear seats can be removed if not needed and easily stored in a garage. Weighing only 11 kilograms each, they free up an additional 40 litres of boot space each. Interior touch fist. This isn't the first car to feature Peugeot's cockpit design, but it is certainly one of the most exciting. Not only do you get the small steering wheel and high-level dials, there is also a wealth of technology on display. For a start, there's a 12.3-inch screen where the speedo would usually be and another 8.0-inch screen in the center console. Pleasingly, there is also a bank of physical switches underneath the screen for high-use things like the aircon or sat-nav, unlike previous Peugeots which hid that functionality away in the touchscreen's menus. There's a big nod to safety too, with standard-fit autonomous emergency braking, traffic sign recognition and driver attention warning system. Peugeot draws from its stable of Peugeot 3-cylinder petrol and Blue-Eddy 4-cylinder diesel engines for the 5008, plus a 1.6-litre higher performance turbo petrol motor. Diesel engines. Kicking things off is a 1.6-litre diesel engine available with either 100 horsepower or 120 horsepower, the former exclusively with a 5-speed manual gearbox and the latter giving you the option of 6-speed manual or automatic transmissions. We drove the more powerful 2.0-litre diesel, which comes with 150 horsepower in 6-speed manual form or 180 horsepower in the automatic in the 5008 GT, which also has 6 gears. The 150 horsepower version provides a pleasing swell of torque from low revs and has a light and positive feel to the gear shift. Interestingly, the 180 horsepower version is predicted to be the bigger seller, but we found the lower powered engine an easygoing unit with a smooth power delivery and admirable refinement unless revved hard, at which point it gets a bit noisy. Petrol engines. Not that long ago the idea of a 1.2-litre, 3-cylinder petrol-powered SUV people carrier would have been a dreary proposition. But the nature of modern turbocharging means it is not only an acceptable power plant in the Peugeot 5008, but a characterful and desirable one too. You can have this 130 horsepower unit with a manual or automatic gearbox, both 6-speed, and we were able to drive the latter on the 5008's hilly, Lisbon-based launch. Left to its own devices, the Autobox delivers smooth and timely shifts, but responded more promptly to manual inputs from the column-mounted shift paddles when the roads became more challenging. There's plenty of low-speed punch from the small petrol engine, but in truth it needs a bit more work than the easier-to-live-with diesel. mainly due to its reliance on revs. Let the engine speed drop too low and you'll find yourself in a bit of a power black hole. Still, if you enjoy the process of extracting the best performance from an engine, this 1.2-litre unit is a rewarding choice. A faster 1.6-litre, 165 horsepower petrol engine is available, which we were unable to sample, but in truth its skewed balance of power against economy doesn't paint it in a favourable light compared with the diesel lineup. Sport mode, a button on the central console marked Sport sharpens up the throttle response, power delivery and the automatic gearbox's shifts. Left in normal mode, the Auto 5008 is reasonably responsive but tends to shift up early to prioritize economy. To avoid awkward multiple downshifts on a more spirited drive, the Sport setting holds onto the car's lower gears to ensure decent engine response and a smoother drive. The downside of this, of course, is poorer fuel economy and more noise. The Peugeot 5008 is a bit of a mixed bag in the handling stakes depending on which engine you choose. The 1.2-litre petrol unit is significantly lighter than the 2.0-litre diesel, and this translates to a greater sense of agility when you first turn the steering wheel. In reality, though, this is not a car you're going to be setting blistering lap times in. It's a practical family car for 7, and on that basis the way it handles is satisfactory. There's plenty of grip and body roll is on the whole well controlled, resulting in a rewarding drive and reduced levels of nausea for those in the back. As with most modern cars, there isn't a huge amount of feedback through the tiny steering wheel. But it is linear and predictable in its nature, with plenty of confidence-inspiring weight, unlike the lighter, vaguer power steering systems seen in older SUVs. Advanced grip control. While there are no 4WD-equipped models, Peugeot does offer its clever traction control system that optimizes the car's various electronic aids to ensure you can drive safely on snow, mud or sand. In addition, you get hill descent control to help negotiate steep slopes at a computer-controlled 2 miles per hour, and 18-inch wheels with mud and snow tires to help adhesion levels while off-road.